Okay. So, in case you're wondering, we're just doing a test here because we had an update on the computer and whatever, and so I did a live stream and nobody showed up, which was weird. That was kind of odd. So, we're just kind of doing a little thing here to see what is going on. And it is quite the thing that we got going on. So we're going to see if anybody shows up, because I try to do this scheduled thing where supposedly it ends up, let me see, which is really odd because usually we'll get somebody on the stream immediately. Usually George shows up. We have some other people that show up, but on the last stream that I just did a couple of minutes ago, 0 people showed up, which was really, really odd. So I restarted everything, checked some settings and stuff like that, and we got 1 viewer here. So I'm hoping that this is correct and this is working. So this is just kind of a test. We're not going to do a long drawn out video. Just want to see if there's anything that needs to be changed. And I don't know, just a little thing here. So now that we know that people have showed up and have actually, kind of done that stuff. We had 1 visitor, so I'm kind of happy with that. Okay. Alrighty. So the test of the emergency live stream test, because the last stream that I just finished, had 0 people. So now that we're seeing a couple people dip in and out, that's pretty good. Okay, cool. Yeah, appreciate that. I think there was some type of setting on my Ecamm Live software. Like I said, there was an update and it didn't end up working. Even though, as I'm checking, we have live stream test, so that's working right now. Star Killer, hey, he says evening. Yeah, doing a little morning here. Yeah, evening there. I just did a live stream and it ends up, it just saved it. Oh, well, no. Today's 26th December. Let's see, what do we got going on? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Okay, that's there. It was really odd. Let's do the date. It's 5 p.m. there. Cool. And it's really odd. Live replay. But I did a live stream where I was talking about hobby stuff and some stuff here in Korea, an update on some stuff here in Korea, and had 0 people, which was really odd. So I did that for an hour. I just kind of powered through, went through and did that. But I wanted to do this other video and to see, I checked the setting again. I restarted everything. So obviously we're getting some people in here. So thanks, appreciate that. Yeah. Anyway, since I got y'all here, I ended up, I'm printing some terrain stuff out. So, where is that? Where is that? Dun, dun, dun. Might as well just do a little stream. So here it is. What I ended up, I'm doing a little bit of terrain features. So you can see what we got going on here. And these are for some miniatures. And again, we got some kind of cool stuff that we see there for some background, some decoration, whether you do tabletop gaming or anything. And I wanted to do some terrain features so that way I could end up kind of dressing up and having a little bit more stuff on my shelves where I kind of display the figures and stuff. Star Killer says, yeah, Christmas here. Things are a little crazy around the house, I can imagine. So with this, these came out, I think these are going to come out pretty good. We're printing them at 0.2 millimeters. And yeah, it's going to come out to about $5.60, 18-hour print. It should be pretty good. And then with that, I got these off of my Minting Factory because, you know, you recommended and said, hey, they're having that 50% off sale. So I got these Terrain Wasteland terrain set. So you can see what I ended up getting there from Cast in Play. I ordered that, and that's got some pretty good bone stuff there. That looks kind of cool. Some terrain features and stuff, so I'm going to print that off next. And the one I'm printing off now is the Cave Terrain set. So we got, what do we print out here? I don't know if it's the cave stuff, if it's that one there. I don't think I have the cave stuff. I think I've got this first part is what I've got on my printing out. Let me see. Do some shapes and colors. Yeah, I don't see any cave stuff. Well, we got a little bit of a cave type thing action there. Think like that. So yeah, we're printing this stuff out as we speak, and being able to save that 50%, that was a great deal. That is really good. So I'm going to go through and maybe order some other stuff. We'll see. So I don't know. Ooh, Borderlands rifle. I downloaded that. Galactic Armory. I've got their stuff. So of course Galactic Armory's got, oh, that's where those snow giants came. That and the Orc. I've got those off of from DM Dash. The minis that we're printing out on the K2 Plus, like we can end up seeing here. Yeah, that's where it came from, DM Dash. And even the Orc that we finished up, there, that's where he came from. So, I'm glad, yeah. Star Killer says, just finished printing my spaceships for OPR Warfleets. Wow. Man, I really wish I could find some people that played one-page rules. I mean, that would be something I would really enjoy. What was another good one? Apex Tabletops, their characters look pretty good. I printed out a number of those in resin. So there's that. But, you know, oh, and then I did this guy here. I printed this guy out from 3D Art Digital. That is a really good one. That is also on my pile of shame that needs to be printed. King Olaf, I printed that guy out. Let's see, what else have I done? Some of these I printed out, some of them I didn't. The dragons I printed out. I need to do, I think I got that young red dragon. I printed that out. That's on the pile of shame as well. Yeah. Wow, just a lot of stuff I need to print out and throw on the pile of shame to make it even larger. But the one-page rules, you know, I was looking at that, and let's see, one-page rules. And let me get rid of some of this, since I don't need to have these opened. On the one-page rules, since it is 50% off, and thank you, Star Killer, for showing me that. I was looking at the sci-fi bundles, and, you know, 86 bucks or whatever, and I was thinking, you know what, I'll get a Human Defense Force, like this one here. I like that one. And then the other one I was going to get was the, which one was it? It wasn't Alien Hives. It was the War Demons Battle Bundle. But that's 118 bucks. Good Lord. Change Demons, Less Demons Army, 130. Good Lord. One Page Rules likes their stuff. And I know you were telling me about how if you're on their Patreon, you get like 50 or 70% off or whatever it was. Still, I don't know if I'd do that. I mean, it's better than 50% off if it's 70%. But basically, I would just want those two factions. The War Demons and then the Human Defense Force. Maybe the Saurian host, but I'm... Plague Demons, I don't know about that. I haven't looked at them. Plague Demons. Less Demons Army, again, 130 bucks. The War Demons look good. Saurian host. I'm not really into those. Blessed Sisters, that's not really my thing. So, Starkiller says he has the Human Defense Force 1, 2, and 3. Oh, wow. That is a lot. So, there it is. Human Defense Force 3, 2, and 1. Holy crow. Did you print all of those out? That's a lot of stuff there, bro. Holy crow. That is a lot. That's a lot of models. So it's 88, 86, and 74. Wow. That, yeah, if you print out all of those, yeah, that would be worth doing the Patreon. If you do a lot of printing, you know, of this stuff. I don't know, I would just do those two. A Human Defense Force, which was, I like that one there, the 2. I like that group there. And again, like I said, I think that's got I like that bundle there. The bundle 2. I think they got some good characters there. It's got a good selection, you know, some mech, heavy mech, and stuff like that. I think that looks good. You know, you got some artillery, you know, big old plasma gun. I like that type of stuff. I like that. So that was the one that I would like. Plague Demons, I don't know. I haven't really looked at these. Oh, those might not be bad either. Ooh, maybe Plague Demons. Wow. Those aren't too bad. I like those. Kind of that gritty, evil, raw type of stuff. Painting, I'd love to see a paint scheme on that. Wow, that's a lot of detail. That is crazy. Starkiller says, I only printed 1,000 points worth. About 25 models. Still, that's a significant amount. Armelon327 pops in and says, which printer are you using and is it affordable? That's a good question. I have the Creality K2 Plus, so affordability, it depends on what your budget is, I guess. K2 Plus, if we got the K2 Plus just by the printer itself, let's see what that runs. And we'll take a look-see. Let's take a look. So that's the combo. So it's $1,200. Is that affordable? For some. But for what I'm doing, I mean, if you just got the machine itself, let's just say you just get it without the CFS, and that's going to be what, 8 something? $1,000 basically. So I don't know if that's affordable or not. It's a good printer. But then you could always kind of go with a K2 Pro or something like that. K2 Pro, so let's see how much that is. So that's $1,000. But if we do just the printer itself, that's still $1,000. So what is the, oh, the combo. Oh, the K2 Pro. What? K2 combo 3D printer. That's a K2. K2 Pro. Let's see what the options there. Just the K2 Pro by itself is $799. So I mean that's a chunk of change. But there's so many printers out there. So for example, Creality High, which Starkiller has a Creality High. He does a lot of good stuff on there. He said he did the Lightwalker, the Ogres, the Stormtroopers. It's a bed slinger version of the K2 Plus. It gets some good results. And the High by itself is around 300 and the combo is 500. So that's, the High might be, let's take a look at that. Printer High. $399, and that's with the CFS, but if you just did the High by itself, you're looking at $279. That is not bad at all. It depends on what you want to do. Kind of like kind of similar to the Bamboo A1 or A1 Mini type of thing. Yeah, it's it could be good. Yeah, $279. That is not bad. $1,000 is a bit steep. May have to spread it out. Yeah, you can do that. But then, you know, honestly, with the K2 Plus, I wanted something that was had a larger build area because I just wanted it to be a little bit larger build area. But the majority of files, cosplay armor, you know, all of this stuff has all been pretty much formatted. The files are formatted for 256 cube build areas. So 256 by 256 by 256. And so getting like a Creality High or a Bamboo A1 Mini or a Bamboo A1 or similar machines that have that small build area, I mean, 256, what is like just under 10 inches. So 10 inches by 10 by 10. There's people who have done entire cosplay armor sets, you know, Mark IV, Iron Man, you know, cosplay armor using those build area printers. So you can get some really good stuff and it's not $1,000. $279. Wow. Used to be $389. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Or you could go with the Ender series, Ender V3 SE. That's $179. I mean, it works, you know. I've seen some good prints off of that. Some people have had problems. Of course, some people have problems with every printer that's on the market. So, but we're just looking at Creality, Ender series. Well, don't want to do that. The High series flagship. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of different options out there. And it kind of depends on your budget, really is what it comes down to. You know, you could go for like a Mark IV with a Prusa, but you're going to pay some money on that. But yeah, there's just a lot of good printers out there. And you're going to have to do some maintenance. You're going to have some problems. You're going to have some clogged nozzles. And you're going to have, you know, it is going to be interesting. You're going to have to do some work on your printer, whatever you get. Starkiller says, enders are finicky, avoid. In the past, they were really, really rough. They were really rough. And they've gotten better. But you know, as far as an ender, I would have to agree. I wouldn't go with an ender personally. Now, especially when you've got so many other options. What is the Bamboo A1? A1, and what does that come out to? We'll take a look and we'll do a little price checky. So there's that. And again, same thing. It's just a bed slinger. Let's go ahead and see what this runs out. $299. You know, so Creality High printer is $279. Bamboo Lab A1 is $299. So if you really kind of pinching pennies, and then 10% over off $100, you know, so another $10 off of that. Creality High, Bamboo A1. I mean, a lot of these year-end sale. Let's see what we got on there. Let's see. We got yeah, they've dropped in price from $399 to $299. The A1 Mini, that's down to $219, as right there. So, and then even the P series, you know, the P1S is $400. You know, because they came out with the P2S, that's still $550. I mean, that's not a bad printer. That's probably a pretty good printer. So, yeah. I mean, there's just a lot of different options. Armelin says, my local micro center has sales on those enders. Good thing I wasn't looking for one at the moment. Yeah, I wouldn't do an ender because of the fact that you do have stuff like the Bamboo A1 or A1 Mini, the Creality High. You know, you're locked into Bamboo's ecosystem and stuff like that. So, yeah, there's that. But, and there's some things, but they do some good prints. You know, for the most part, Bamboo is pretty good. And other companies, you know, they set the bar high, and then Prusa set the bar high, and then, of course, once they do their stuff, everybody else improves their printers as well. So that's why you see stuff like Creality and their stuff is getting better and better. So the tide rises all ships. That's for sure. So, but the P2S, that seems to be a really good printer. The A1s are pretty good. Then SnapMaker, if you want to do multi-material, or SnapMaker U1, how much does that pop in? We'll take a look at SnapMaker. And that's got the 4 tool heads, but that's $850. That's a little, and it's a small build area. I mean, that's kind of a small, but it's a great printer. And it's fast on printing multi-material and different colors, so there's that. So it's pretty fast, so if you're going to do multi-material printing, SnapMaker might be good. But again, that's $850. If you're not in the immediate market for that, I would hold off because SnapMaker is going to make a bigger one. And this price will come down. So, yeah. And that's still kind of on pre-order, apparently. $150 off. Or that is $150 off. So, yeah. Those are the ones that I would stick with and see. Star Killer says, the High is a little bigger build plate than the A1, but not by much. Oh, okay, cool. Let's take a look at that, because the A1 is 256 cube build area, and if we look at the Creality High, there's Bamboo, there's that. Let's get back to the Creality High. Is it the same, or is it is it a little bit bigger? Let's take a look. And where are we? We're right here. So there it is, Creality High combo. So you get a CFS with that, $399, and there it is. Sure enough, 260 by 260 by 300. So if you wanted a little bit more space, Creality High would be the thing. How much is a Creality High just by itself? $279 with no CFS. So if you're really wanting to go cheap, just going to print one filament. I mean, you could change out the filament, do one color, pause it, reload it with a different color filament, and drive on. That would be old school stuff. But yeah, that is a bigger build area. Nice. Nice, yeah. 260 by 260 by 300. It is bigger. Let's see how much bigger. So 256 is basically just over 10 inches. And 260 is like 10 and a quarter inches. So you're gaining a little bit more, but then you're going 300, which is almost a foot. It's almost 12 inches, just shy of 12 inches. So 260 by 300, that's pretty good. You kind of get a little bit more room. Prints at up to 500 millimeters per second fast speed, which your daily driver mileage is not going to be 500, but auto calibration, clog free, quick nozzle swapping, all of that stuff. If you do the CFS, what else do we got on there? Customer reviews are pretty good on that. That seems to be a good machine. I mean, Star Killer's got it, and he recommends it, so yeah. So you get more information on this. It's got the little, got little mods on there. 81, 16. So the reviews are pretty good. 4.32 out of 5 based on 118. So it seems to be pretty good. Alrighty, good stuff. That's good to know. Thanks, Star Killer. I thought that was 256. It's not. It is bigger. Sometimes bigger is better. Size does matter at times. So anyway, what we're going to end up doing, I think I went over that. I'm printing that terrain feature stuff. Star Killer says he sent an email out on his one-page rules human defense force. Let's check that out. I gotta end this because we gotta hit the gym today. It's already after. We're late. We are late. It's because I'm yakking, but I'm yakking with good people. So here he says, he sent an email, he said, here's a 1,000-point army human defense force, 1 light walker, 3 ogres, 5 grunt robots, 4 snipers, 1 psi hacker, 5 stormtroopers, 1 pathfinder with wolf, and 1 comms unit in a pear tree. Let's take a look at that and see what we got. So there it is. Ooh, nice. Zoom in a little bit more. I like that. I like the human defense force. Those look really good. Those look really good. Good stuff. Good stuff. It's just, the paint scheme. You get a lot of examples of paint schemes with like Warhammer stuff, but I don't see that so much with the one-page rules. So you're really just kind of left up to your own imagination as to how you would paint that stuff. But yeah, I think that's really helpful. I think if they had something for, like, let's take a look at the one I want to get, the bundle, Human Defense Force, how you would end up painting their armor. I think, I don't know, maybe Starkiller can answer this. And is there like paint schemes for these characters and how you paint them? Or is there any lore? I know there's some lore to OPR, but I mean, as far as like different factions and the Human Defense Force or the other factions and armies and stuff like that, is there like a paint scheme of showing examples of, okay, well, gray armor, green or gray uniforms, or, what is the, is there any paint scheme available? Or you just that's it and you just make it up as you go. I'm all for copy and paste and then doing small adjustments. But that's good. I like that bundle too. That looks really good. So, Star Killer says all stock nozzle at 0.12 layer height. Nice. Those looked really good. Star Killer says nope. You can use what other paint scheme you want. Alrighty. So you'd have to play around and see what you could do. Maybe just kind of look at some Warhammer stuff and maybe some other pictures online, or even just use some AI, text to picture, and see if you can get some good results there. Star Killer says mine are going to be green like Halo Master Chief. Ooh, that would be good. That would be good. I could see that, especially the guys with the helmets like that. Oh yeah, that could look good. And I did one of those in like a blue. This was Apex, is the one that I ended up doing. So let me show you. Let me see if I got my Apex. So I got like the Apex guys that I downloaded. I haven't painted these, but that's kind of a chunky dude there. These are resin printed, but there's that one. And then I did paint one in blue, but I kind of messed this one up. But kind of the blue and the gold, that turned out okay. This was early on. But, that's not bad either. But yeah, you can imagine doing this in like the green with a gold visor and stuff like that. That could turn out pretty good. So yeah, I still got a number of those. I like these a lot, matter of fact. The Apex ones are good. I like those. So, so fun stuff. And I got a number of those. Maybe I just need to get off my ass and prime those with black and do some white zenithal, and then just go to town with some speed paint, because again, that would look really good. It's just coming up with the color schemes that, do a color scheme and stick with it. And I think that's why I'd like to get that Human Defense Force 2 and to really print the whole thing out. I mean, that would be an endeavor. Printing is one thing, but going through and then painting everything, that's something entirely. Those look cool. Little mech dudes with their chain guns. Almost kind of looks samurai-ish robot type of thing. The feet are like really unique. I mean, those look pretty good. They got axes, artillery, plasma cannon, I guess. I mean, it's really, really cool. So that's why I think there's a good assort, missile launchers, the whole 9 yards. That's why I like this Army Bundle 2. It's got a wide variety of people, machines, mech, the whole 9 yards. That would be a big one. And then like I said, if I did that, I would like to do, if I could get through that. I have so many scroll moments. I don't know. It's just like crazy. But yeah, Star Killer says he'll send a pic later of the ships that he did. Cool. Yeah. But just to be able to come up with, that was kind of a concern with me of getting into doing stuff, and that's why I kind of gravitated towards the Warhammer stuff. is because you had so much lore, you had so many color schemes, and each faction had their own paint scheme, and you could look it up and you could, just, hey, oh, he's got red armor, he's got this and that. You could easily replicate that or use it as a guide to paint your miniatures. And then like the Apex Legends in their stuff, yeah, that screams kind of like Master Chief, doesn't it? And yeah, that would easily be done in green. But you do some little color wheel stuff and in some different colors for contrast, you could really have a cool one. But yeah, I think the one-page rules, if they had like a paint color scheme examples, I think that would really help out a lot. Because I know new people like myself, you get kind of stuck. You can print out, but painting it and having that paint guide or paint scheme to guide you to make it look really cool, I think that would help out. So, yeah. Hey, we got Dankvid. He's here. Says Merry Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas to all. Let's see, what else have I done? But yeah, I've got some of those other ones. The Apex Legends are really good. That's a question I have for Star Killer is when you print out these miniatures for example, like this Human Defense Force Bundle 2, did they come in pieces and parts, or did they come out, or is it just like you have the miniature and then you have the base is separate, or is it just the base and the miniature is all in one, or are they in pieces? Kind of like this Apex Legends, you had the different pieces. The head came off, the missile launchers came off, the base came off, and it was its own little thing. So you had to print those and then glue them and put them together. And is it easy? Because I've gotten some models a long time ago where it's just like, you got a ton of heads, you got a ton of arms, and there's like nothing saying, okay, well, this arm goes with this and that. It's just kind of like, here's all the shit, print it, and that's all they're concerned with. There's not a lot of customer service when it comes to examples of, putting the stuff together or whatever. And the ones that I really hate are the creators that make models and, it's like, well, here's all the files, but you might need multiple items and they only have one of those items on there. So in other words, it's not like build print friendly. And what I'm talking about is that, like, let's say you got a 256 cube build area and they have a plate of that, like a 3MF, to where it has, okay, well, these are the stormtroopers here, and everything that you need to have these 7 or 10 stormtroopers are going to be on this plate. Just print the plate and boom, put together your stormtroopers. I love that. I hate it when creators are just like, no rhyme or reason. They don't tell you that you need to print out, X amount of these and there's only one. You can kind of do some math and figure that out. But when you got so many pieces and parts, I think when you have like the 3MF that you can get off of like Maker World or stuff like that, that really make it easy, that I appreciate. So let's see. Star Killer says they have both pre-supported, unsupported, and modular. Oh, okay. So it's a little bit better, is what you're saying, than what I've been describing of creators that don't do a good job of making it easy to print that stuff out. But that is good. I don't know. That and the War Demons, or even the Plague Demons. But the Plague Demons got so many details. Holy crow. Even the Less Demons are kind of the sneaky snake type of whatever. I don't know if I like the snakiness of that. That's just kind of odd looking to me. So maybe not that one. But like those look really good. Oh, yes. So yeah, Starkiller says, yeah, that it's definitely user friendly. Okay, so that's good. That's one thing that really bugs me. You got to make it easy for your customers. And if you make it easy for your customers will come back and buy from you again. So the plate demons, that's not bad. I don't like the snail. Nothing says demons riding a snail. I would not do those. I would not print those out. But the rest of them look great. Those look really good too. Mostly melee. I don't see they got a lot of guns. Or arrows, or I don't know, maybe they spitfire or whatever. That guy looks like he launches some stuff. Let's see. Starkiller says he uses the modular myself to make it the way that I want him to look. Yeah, I get it. That makes sense. That's always good. Armelon327 says, have you tried mecha figurines yet? No, I haven't. Are they on My Mini Factory? Starkiller says they're mainly resin, but I showed them that they could be done in FDM and they were surprised. Wow. Yeah, I mean, when you look at the Human Defense Force and you think about FDM printing in the pieces, I mean, just for the figures, you do a base, the base is easy. And the figures, you're not, they've got like thick clothing and all that, so you're going to get good supports on there. Yeah, I don't think those would be, you'd have supports coming up, support the rifle and all that stuff, and those overhangs. So really, it wouldn't be that bad. And that's kind of going up, so you'd have supports on the bottom there, but yeah, as far as like FDM support wise, you're not looking at something crazy. But yeah, I would probably do resin. But FDM, yeah, maybe FDM. I got to order that 0.25 nozzle, so we'll see what happens. Starkiller says those tanks are a bitch to do. Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, little, especially when you get into, there we go. Yeah, those would be a bit of a problem. I don't know, it depends on it depends on the model, and you do a planar cut down the center, or, I don't know, that'd be interesting. Interesting. Like a planar cut, like straight down through the middle. And of course that would have to come off as its own piece or whatever. That'd be an interesting, but you could print that up, maybe cut it in half that way. But yeah, you'd have to do some finagling on that. If that was all one piece, if it wasn't in parts. It's like if you had a one piece assembled STL, maybe you could split that like right down the middle with a planar cut, and then you could put it both those halves down on the plate and then build it that way. I don't know. That's some cool looking stuff there. I really like that. I might get that. Starkiller says the tanks are multi-part. Yeah, I imagine. But even if I had to do those resin, that wouldn't be bad. I'd just knock that out. I'm just really linear. I would have to, when I get onto something, I want to do it, work it, finish it, and then move on to something else. But if it's a long, protracted thing, yeah, I don't know. Comes down to time management. I just need to manage my time more. So, Starkiller says that, of course, the tanks are multi-part and build plate is not big enough for base chassis unless I print vertical. Yeah, I get that. There's some good size, that's some good sized vehicles there, that's for sure. But I would like to do a big army like that. If I could, that's on the bucket list. Do a big army like that, the Human Defense Force, and then, like I said, maybe the Plague Demons, maybe that. Let's see, what is, or the War Demons. Let's see, bundles. But they got their Patreon. Yeah. But the fantasy bundles, I'd like to do that. Starkiller says they're all 32 millimeter scale. So yeah, I mean, as far as the people, they would be good. I blew these guys up a bit because I figured I want to paint, I want to make them a little bit bigger. But these are, I blew these up and they are 65 millimeters. So yeah, that's a little bit bigger. So 32, you're talking about half. So I scaled it up about 50%. So, but yeah, I don't think I'd do that with these guys. But yeah, maybe the War Demons, that'd be kind of cool to do. That would be all right. The War Demons. Beastmen? I haven't seen those. The Beastmen, let's see what they look like. Okay. Minotaur-ish. Some cool characters. Some ranged weapons. It's more like the fantasy stuff. Those look pretty cool. Ooh. There's just too many cool things. Too many cool things to print. Sci-fi bundles. So orcs. I haven't looked at orcs. I have the HDF files, but even the STL is too big to send via email. Yeah, I imagine. 32 millimeter is actually measured from the eye level of the model to the feet, not the total. Oh, really? Really? I didn't know that. Huh. So it's a few millimeters. So for the eye, you're probably adding maybe 3 or 4 on like a little dude. Huh. Interesting factoid. That is pretty neat. Yeah. Measured from the eye level of the model to the feet. Learn something new every day. There's this one, the orcs. I kind of like I like orcs, but I don't like that little flowery thing. Kind of reminds me of Hawaii. Hey, sweetie. I'm almost done. A little late. We'll be a little late to the gym today. So, okay.
I was just wondering if we're still on the gym today.
Yeah, I just technical difficulties, but yeah. So what is it? 9:40. We can go to the gym and then we can have a late lunch. So anyway, yeah, the orcs, the little feathers and stuff, that just, for some reason, that reminds me of Hawaii, and or, you know, Tiki Lounge and whatever. So I don't know if I like that. Orcs with flowers and feathers. Let's see what the bundle 2 looks like. Do they do feathers as well? Okay, that's better. Okay, that's better. That's better. I don't like the little cheesy. No, I wouldn't print him out. Like the rough and rumble ready. I like that stuff. Ooh, those guys look good. Nice, nice. Maybe I do like orcs. I just don't like the Hawaiian orcs. Wow. Oh yeah. Flamethrowers. I don't know. Orcs could be really good. Do some green-skinned orcs and all that. Okay, cool. Maybe the Orc Marauders Bundle 2. Let's see what the Orc Army 1. Did we look at that one? Is that the Hawaiian? Yeah, those are the Hawaiian dudes. We don't like Hawaiian orcs. See what the Orc Bundle 3 looks like. I was going to say that looks like a chicken. And we're going back to the feathery orc. I don't know what this thing is with the feathers. It just reminds me of like a Polynesian orc. That still kind of gives me a Polynesian orcish look type thing. I don't know. So it would be Orc Marauders Bundle 2 if I did orcs. So anyway, I don't know. Maybe I should just bite the bullet and get the Human Defense Force 2. And then elves? Am I into elves? I don't know. I'll take a look at the elves real quick. Yeah, they're okay. I don't know if I get those. But I definitely like the Human Bundle 2. And let's see, dwarfs? Let's see what dwarfs look like. Little chunky monkeys that we got going on there. Maybe. They got some blasters, got some bikes. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm not a dwarf person either. Star Killer says, grab some of the free minis from the 2-player starter set. Yeah, that's what I should do. I think I'll definitely get that Human Defense Force 2. And at 50% off, that's pretty good. Star Killer says, HDF, you get stormtroopers and grunt robots. Okay. Let's see, we'll take a look-see on some of that other stuff. Go to the one-page rules. We'll do this before I go, because I got to sign off. It's almost 10 and we're late. I have been late. Muzzle front. Hey. Little angry dude says, Feliz Navidad, bro. Good to see you're developing a healthy hobby. Yes. We are rocking it. So, yeah, we're just looking over some stuff here in the grim, dark future. So it's got some infantry stuff. So if you're looking at the one-page rules, and what we did is we popped over here and it says you can get your free starter set. I click that and you can get started in the grim, dark future. So you got some infantry, grunt, stormtroopers, like Starkiller said, Hive Assault Grunt, Shooter Grunt, Soul Snatcher. You get a couple pieces of terrain. let's see, that's as big as that's going to get. So we got some infantry grunts. Been there, done that. Got some more infantry grunts, different pose, which is good. Mech robot dudes, and then we got these other ones, the hives. Yeah. Download for free. So if you want to get into that, definitely get into it for free. Alrighty, like I said, so we're continuing on. We're printing out some terrain that is currently being printed out. It should be done in, I don't know, hour and a half or so is what we got. So we'll kind of dress up some of the display of the models that I have for the Warhammer stuff. And then, yeah, seriously looking at, going into the, that other one that we were just looking at, the one-page rules. So the Human Defense Force. Muzzle front says every time I paint models, they come out like I put them on a blender with paint. Just battle worn. That's what that's called. That's the grim dark, where you make mistakes and you just put dark wash over it and scratches and you're good to go. So never know, never know. Long as they win the battle, it doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? Anyway, so that's what we got going on. We're going to finish that up. Like I said, we ended up doing the previous video. We did this guy. That was actually printed out on the K2 Plus at a 0.08 layer height. We painted them all up, and it came out really good. I was really impressed with that. So the next painting video that we're going to do is we're going to have these two guys, and that we got off of my mini factory, the Frost Giant dudes. The Zenithal came out pretty good, so I'm really looking forward to the paint with the speed paints, and that should be good as well. And we can take a look, because I actually did some resin versions of these guys as well, and I took way too much time on them, but they came out pretty good. So yeah, a lot of painting. So we can answer the age-old question, can you print minis on an FDM printer? And I think the answer is yes, or an FFF printer. Filament printer, let's just leave it at that, because Stratasys, according to Starkiller, and I looked it up, they actually copyrighted fused filament, or fused whatever it is, whatever FDM stands for, they copyrighted that phrase, and they like sue people when they use it, so whatever. Starkiller says he's going to get those pics within the next day or two. Show an email for them for the OPR war fleets. Cool, yeah, definitely do that. We'll throw them up here and we'll see what happens. So with that being said, appreciate the like and subscribe to the channel and the video that we got going on here. I'm glad I was able to figure out the problem that we have, because the last live stream that we just did, nobody showed up. And I think there was a setting because there was an update. So I'm glad that I got that fixed. So we're going to continue on. Yeah, please take some time. Hit that like button. That'd be a wonderful Christmas present for me. And then in return, I will reciprocate by continuing to make videos, and we'll go over the terrain features that I'm printing out. We'll do that. So we'll go over the terrain features that I printed out, and we'll paint these. That'll be the next video. I'm going to try. We'll keep the fingers crossed and we see what happens. Alrighty, so that's what we got.
No. Wait.
Yeah, I know you don't want me to go, but it's time to go. So with that being said, email address, if you want to contact me about anything, send me pictures of what you're doing, games you're playing, tips, tricks, suggestions, information that you think is cool, that I might think is cool, or vice versa. You can contact me through the email. Starkiller says good holiday, and we'll see you next time, and we'll kind of part with that with everybody else as well. He kind of summed that up great, and we will see you on the next video if you did like and subscribe. Peace. Yeah, let's rock it. We'll kill it. We will kill it. Little dude here says subscribe, like and subscribe, or else I will shoot you.